and I want to demonstrate the 6 basic reins. The first 3 reins are one-hand reins: a leading rein, a direct rein, and a lifting rein. I'll demonstrate these things, but you see that there's an infinite variety of the different ways that you teach these reins. And they are taught in a stepwise fashion. The most elementary rein is the leading rein, where you're in time with in this case, the left 4. The direct rein is when it's coming to your belly button, and it's sort of like in the middle, and that should be a place where they're yielding to all 4 equally. The lifting rein goes straight up, and it has the quality of elevating the shoulder, and it gives you control of the front foot on that side. Of course, you use both hands, and so you see that the most elementary rein is out like this. The most advanced reins come up like this. The 4th rein is 2 direct reins, where you apply both reins. The 5th rein is an indirect rein of opposition, and the last rein is an indirect rein, a true indirect rein, where you only use one hand. These are in a stepwise, in the training of a horse, they're in a stepwise fashion. These are really elementary yields for a horse, and they really should have these things in place before they start trying to do a more advanced lessons, whether it be dressage or roping or reining or polo or anything else. The final goal, the reason for the indirect rein, is so that you can operate the horse with one rein and so it frees up the other hand for use of an implement. For example, a training flag, polo mallet, rope, any other job that a horse needs to do. And so I'm going to go ahead and try to get on. So before I get on, I absolutely want to have his attention. I want his undivided attention. Maybe that'll be quick, maybe it'll take a while. But then we try to make sure that the saddle is tight enough. And I want him to maintain that bend while I mount. So right now I'm using only one rein. I've got him bent. In this case, it's with a direct rein. Okay, he's kind of busy, so I'm going to let him warm up a little bit. So if I get out here, now I'm going to try to demonstrate the basic reins. The first 3 reins are one-hand reins. The first one is a leading rein. I nip him with the bridle just as the left forward leaves the ground. To make him make a circle. The next rein is a direct rein. So I have my left leg on his ribs to establish the bend. The rein is more or less towards my belly button. He's doing that acceptably. The third rein is a lifting rein. The lifting rein is in time with the left 4, in this case. And in this case, I direct where the left front is going to go, depending on where this hand is. Now, I'm exaggerating these reins for the purpose of demonstration. You don't have to have your hand as high, and you don't have to have the movements as big as this. So I should be able to, with the lifting rein, I'm talking to the left 4, and I bring him around that way. Okay. The 4th rein is 2 direct reins, where you apply a little pressure with both. That's the correct response, is to lower his head and to flex at the pole. And we do the same thing on the right. The leading rein I want to get out here and make a perfect circle. So I'm going to pick this spot now, 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 now. So I'm cueing him with the rein as that right front leaves the ground. And we check out the direct rein with the rein to my belly button. So what I want is for him to take to make a essentially perfect circle. And now we check him out on the lifting rein. So when we come around again, we'll demonstrate that. So just in time with the right fore, now, 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 now. It has the quality of lifting his shoulder and moving his body to the outside of the circle. These are the most elementary reins. These are the most elementary maneuvers. And they absolutely have to be able to do this before they can enter any other kind of training if they're going to do any good at all. So now we try to... He missed that, so I'm going to cheat a little bit. In time with the right fore. Okay, now there's a nice little exercise where I can put him on the right hand circle, direct rein. A direct rein on the right hand circle. Then when I get up here, I'm going to go to leading rein, and lifting rein on the other side. And go and create the circle on the other direction. We do it again. That's a good way to check them out on this and make them supple. Leading, 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 lifting, lifting, lifting. And then back on the circle in the other direction. Now my hand has to balance where the horse is in order for me to go where I want to go. Leading, leading, lifting, lifting. Okay. Now I want to check him out that he'll yield to my legs. So what I expect is that I touch him with my leg and maybe the spur. Steady, boss. If I touch him on the right side, I expect him to stand still, and I want to get a bend, like that. Let me get him straight. If I touch him on the left side, I expect him to not go forward, but rather to bend. Steady. So I'm touching him with the spur on the left side. Now I want to touch him with the spur on the right. If I touch him with the spur on the right, I expect his head to come down and to the right. If I touch him on the left, I expect to come down and to the left and not go forward. I'm touching him right behind the girth, so I'm not asking him to go forward. Steady. When he goes forward and I don't want it, then I would allow him to, then I'm going to back him up further than he wanted to come. Right? I want him to bend to the right. I want him to bend to the left. Steady. So I'm having trouble. And then when I get him straight, I want him bent more to the right. To be straight, I'm using both feet. I'm using both feet, and I want him to come down like that. Okay, he's busy, so we need to go somewhere. Now it's time to introduce the outside reins. Now we're using both hands. I'm going to pick up the other rein. The easiest way I know of to demonstrate this indirect rein of opposition, which is often called the outside rein, is by exaggeration. And so I'm going to establish a lifting rein on the left side, that tells him that whatever we're going to do is going to be to the left. It's going to be to the left. It's going to be to the left. It's going to be to the left. And then I'm going to try to get him to take a left canter lead. And so I'm going to tell him with the outside rein, now. So that engages the hind, and it allows him to understand what we're doing. It makes him use the hind end more than the front. I've got my left hand really elevated, the right hand is quite low. We'll try the other direction. Now first I'm going to tell him it's going to be to the right, it's going to be to the right, it's going to be to the right, it's going to be to the right. My hands are very split. The indirect rein of opposition is the outside rein. When I tell him now, then I'll click to him and apply the outside rein. And we can still use these more elementary reins. So if I use the lifting rein, I expect him to yield the right front. He's never seen a mirror before. The leading rein shuts down the action. Lifting rein. Then the final rein is a true indirect rein, which means you ride them with one hand. So I have to be able to establish a bend with my leg. I'm going to go left. If I want to turn, I can use the outside rein for that. Now I want to go to the right. I got to establish the bend with my right foot. Back to the end. We had some problems, but that's the basics. Now he's ready to start a lesson. He's ready to do a job. That's the way I check him out before doing a job. These things are fundamental. This is not advanced riding. This is absolutely the bare essentials that every horse ought to have before they start into his training program, into an advanced lesson program.